Once more, and sorry, I've kept you waiting for a while, but it was not intentional. We just wanted to be ready, and thank you very much for coming. I am here with the Marsabit County Security and Intelligence Team and the senior commanders of our National Police Service and other security agencies that are present here in Marsabit County. I have spent the day here to brainstorm with these colleagues to try and address some of the security issues that have taken place in recent past. And we have been able to spend time here the whole day since morning when I arrived, before 10 until now, to first of all assess the security situation in this county. And basically we have two major issues. The first is that there have been a number of livestock thefts in recent weeks. We've had cases of livestock thefts, and we thought that we needed to put our heads together to see how we can completely mitigate against this barbaric culture of people stealing other people's livestock, and in the process they are killing them. We have put in place a number of strategies, and as I leave this place, I am satisfied that in the coming days we are going to rein in on this problem, and the security team has a clear roadmap on what needs to be done. We are aware that the rains have come, and but we are also aware that many of our people in these pastoral areas did lose their livestock because of the drought that has been there for a very long time. Now, the temptation that our people have is to try and restock using other people's livestock, and therefore we want to make sure that now that our people have returned from wherever they had gone, now that our people have quite some ground to cover, that they do it lawfully within the law. They don't venture into stealing other people's livestock and killing people in the process. So that is the one issue that we have been looking at, on how to work together, the various agencies here, to make sure that we are ahead of the criminals. Secondly, in the last few weeks, we have had incidents of targeted crime, and the intelligence we have is that some of those attacks are premeditated, and they are perpetrated with ethnic motivation. We've had some killings, I think in the last few weeks. We've lost a number of people. The last loss was yesterday, where we lost a number of people in an ambush, and others were critically injured. In our assessment, these attacks are dangerous for the peace and stability of our people in this region. We believe that there is need not only to track arrest and punish offenders, but there is need for a serious engagement with the communities here to make sure we de-escalate ethnic and community-based passions that we believe are at the heart of this problem. I want to make it clear that the kind of attacks we are seeing are not, in our view, isolated criminal activities. The information we have suggests that there has been a build-up of ethnic sentiments pitting communities against other communities within this county. Marsabit is one of the most diverse counties in terms of ethnicity in our republic. At the same time, the inter-community relationship has been strained, has been stretched to the limits as a result of leadership, past and present, that in our view has contributed to aggravating ethnic sentiments and profiling communities against each other. This must stop. Countries have been destroyed by negative ethnic sentiments. Communities have been wiped out by crime which is fueled by negative ethnicity. Therefore, we as government will not sit back as Marsabit escalates inter-community tensions. We will take proactive action, we will take preventive action, and that is what has brought me here today. We want to make it clear that peace and stability is not optional. Neither is it political. Peace and stability is mandatory if we have to retain our country's sovereignty and dignity. Every Kenyan, wherever they live, must be protected from harm and from any form of danger or discrimination on the basis of ethnicity. Nobody chose the ethnicity they will be born into. And therefore, I want to send a very strong and firm and conclusive warning on all community leaders, political leaders, religious leaders, and leaders of every type who have thrived in setting up communities against each other, sometimes encouraging, financing, or in other ways contributing to the escalation of ethnic passions in this county and in other parts that are affected, like Marsabit is affected. We must dismantle ethnic warlords and people who have made huge political and community capital out of encouraging crime, discrimination, and intercommunal fighting. And therefore, we will move with speed and conclude investigations on some of the community and political leaders that we believe are behind the fueling of the current escalation of ethnic tension and also crime associated with negative ethnicity. I also want to make it clear that in our work as security agencies, we are not involved in politics of whatever nature. We are not involved in the local politics of Marsabit, neither are we involved even in the national politics and the perceptions about the political alignments of anyone. And therefore, any person who is found to be aiding, abetting, supporting, or in any other way encouraging crime and encouraging ethnic passions that are leading to the kind of crimes that we have seen, including the attack that happened yesterday. Such leader, irrespective of their political persuasion, will be brought to justice. I mean it, and we will do it. Therefore, let it be known that we will not entertain politics, we will not entertain religious persuasions, we will not entertain ethnic persuasions. A criminal is a criminal. It doesn't matter their religion, it doesn't matter the political persuasion of that person. Those are the instructions that I leave behind to the County Security and Intelligence team of Marsabit to move with speed and utmost professionalism. First and foremost, conclude investigations and arrest all the criminals who have committed the recent spate of crime in this county, including the very, very heinous crime that was committed on those innocent people that were killed yesterday. Those investigations must be thorough, conclusive, and they must yield to successful prosecution. That is the only way we can ensure we have a country governed by the Constitution and a country that is governed by the rule of law. Secondly, the instructions that we leave behind to my colleagues in the County Security and Intelligence team is to reactivate and operationalize in the shortest time possible the peace-building structures that have been there in this county to bring in all stakeholders, including religious leaders, political leaders, community elders, non-governmental actors, so that we can have a program in this county of encouraging cohesion and the communities here to live together in harmony as brothers and sisters, bound together by the destiny of sharing the soil of this county. So we're going to reactivate a peace-building program in this county, bring together all communities, big communities, small communities, bring in people of different faiths, Christians, Muslims, and other faiths. And that process is going to be led by the community leaders, the local community leaders, through representatives they are going to initiate or to identify themselves. But the supervision of that exercise is a direct mandate of the County Security and Intelligence Committee of this county. I'll be back again in about a fortnight. By that time, we will announce further measures on our peace-building program, and we'll be able to launch the activities of that program so that we can restore peace and harmony in this county. In the meantime, as we build the peace, we are going to look for the criminals. We are going to track them down, arrest them, charge them, and ensure they are prosecuted and convicted. Secondly, in the meantime, we are going to conclude investigations on some of the community, religious and political leaders who are, in our view, responsible for funding negative ethnicity, encouraging and funding criminal activities that has led to the recent escalation of violent crime within Marsabit County. That is what we've been doing today. I am happy to be here. I'll be back soon. And I really want to thank you, good people of the press, for continuing to highlight society matters, including security matters. Whatever you do, you are helping the country to understand what is happening, and you are helping the government to be able to track what is happening across the country so that we can be able to respond in a timely manner and generate solutions to make sure that when something happens, we learn from it and take measures to prevent reoccurrence of such matters or such incidents in the future. That reminds me that today, I am told, is the International Press Freedom Day. For that reason, I want to congratulate the press in our country for a vibrant and patriotic job they have done. Everywhere I go, members of the press have shown tremendous patriotism, energy, and responsibility for our country's interest. I've just returned from Shakahola, where we've had one of the worst tragedies that this country has ever faced. And the enthusiasm, the patriotism, the positive energy that I have seen, pressmen and women camping, for days on end, not even going home to shower, sleeping in very remote area, and it's just amazing, how, press people, even as you do your stories, I can just see a lot of responsibility, passion, and patriotism. I want to thank you. I wish you a happy International Press Freedom Day. This government will ensure that the gains our country has done in encouraging, supporting, and validating the constitutionally guaranteed freedom of the press and freedom of media. That's right. This government will ensure that right is respected, protected, and promoted. And I know for us in the security sector, it's perhaps a bit difficult, some of the things we do. So when sometimes we do some things differently, I want you to understand us. I can speak for at least the security sector, my colleagues here. There are certain things based on what we do that perhaps we do them in a certain way, but we are guided by the Constitution and the freedom that it has given, that we should have an open society, an open, we have nothing to hide, including Shakahola. I have said whatever we discover there, we will announce to the whole world. We will not hide a thing. But on the other hand, given the nature of that tragedy, there are some things we cannot allow, even for ethical reasons. Even under international law, there are some things which are not allowed. You have not seen them in any country. When Americans were attacked in 9/11, 2001, nobody has ever seen some of the images that were captured during that tragedy. When in 1995, 8,000 Bosnian Muslims, men and boys, were slaughtered in a genocide in a small city called Srebrenica, a city of about 10,000, and 8,000 of those men in that city were all slaughtered in a spate of genocide. The graves and the horrors of those graves, until now, most of those images have never been seen. So that's how you should understand. Otherwise, we have nothing to hide. This is our country. Something like this has happened. It has a caught all of us, it should not have happened, let me put it this way. And as I said in Shakahola 3 days ago, now that these criminals managed to hurt us, just the way terrorists have hurt us before, we will go out of our way as government to put in measures like no other to make sure that nothing like this ever happens on the soil of Kenya ever again. So we've nothing to hide. We celebrate the press. You are partners and essential elements of our society's development. I wish you well. Please support my colleagues here. Support them, work with them for the interests of our country. Because these officers you see here have not come here to do politics. They have not come here to support this leader against the other leader. That is a different game. It's played by politicians, okay? And it's a democratic thing, you know, one leader, another leader, one of them is elected, the other one waits, and then is elected another time. For us in the security sector, those things, we are not there. Our job is to make sure that our homeland is safe. So work with them. County commissioner is here, the county police commander is here, all the other commanders and heads of different security agencies, KWS and the forest are here. Nawatakia kila laheri, Mungu awabariki. Kama kuna swali tu moja tu ama mbili, one or two, can yes. Yes. Yes.
Viongozi wa kidini pamoja na viongozi wa kijamii na viongozi wa kisiasa wamekuwa wakiagiza kurejeshwa kwa maafisa wa NPR. Pengine utazungumzaje kuhusiana hilo?
Yes, we have received, as you know, the NPR program was temporarily stopped some times back, and the government has reviewed that policy on National Police Reservice. Right now, we are resuming the identification, recruitment, and arming of the National Police Reservice, and very soon we'll be announcing the program for Marsabit. We've done it in a few other counties, and the time for Marsabit is around the corner.
Waziri, naomba nikuulize hili waziri, tafadhali kabla uondoke. Waziri Kindiki, asante kwa kuja Marsabit. Mimi naitwa Samire, nafanya kazi na Bifto Radio. Kuna huu msitu wa Marsabit, bwana waziri, ambao umekuwa ni kero sana. Watu ambao waliuawa jana, wale juzi, wale wanne waliotekeleza hayo mauaji waliingia msitu wa Marsabit. Si mara moja waziri, si mara mbili, si mara tatu waziri, si mara nne wala tano. Barabara ya kutoka Marsabit kuelekea Songa, msitu wa Marsabit umekuwa ndio sehemu ya wahalifu kujificha. Once tu mhalifu anafanya uhalifu, anaua, anaiba mifugo, wakiingia mle ndani waziri, hawatawahi kupatikana. Hawapatikani mifugo. Wawe mbuzi 200, ngamia 100, ng'ombe 500, wakiingia msitu wa Marsabit waziri, hawapatikani. Ule msitu waziri hauna maafisa wa usalama. Uhusiano upi unakuwa kati ya maafisa wa usalama kuweza kuona kwamba maafisa wa forest na misitu wanasaidia katika kukabiliana na wahalifu ambao wamejihami na hifadhi yao, bwana waziri, ni msitu wa Marsabit?
With regard to the Marsabit forest, it is our position that it has been difficult during the drought to control access because of the situation, the environmental catastrophe that was the drought. The rains have come, and we have taken the decision to seal off Marsabit forest from access as a way of making sure that that forest is not used as a hideout for criminals. And therefore, going forward, because sometimes when there is extreme drought and there is pasture, you would want to balance between security but also livelihoods and people not starving and livestock. If that decision is reviewed because of another drought some other time, we will ensure that such access will be in such conditions that it will be extremely difficult for criminals to hide there. But at the moment, the rains have come, the pastures and water is now available. Nobody should be in that forest if you are not a security officer who is protecting that forest. And these are some of the measures that we will be announcing. Some of them will be announced at county level. And maybe when I come back in a fortnight, we'll announce specific measures. But I want to agree with you. There has been a concern by government that the forest has been used as hideouts by criminals for a very long time. And we have a solution. The same way we have been able to remove dangerously armed bandits from gorges and ravines in the North Rift where they have been hiding whenever they attack people. We have a solution, and when I come back, we'll be announcing how we make sure that that place is flushed to make sure that there are no criminals there. After that, we will dominate it in a multi-agency manner and make sure that even if in the future we review that policy of access, we will still make sure that the place is not a hideout for criminals.
Waziri, labda moja tu
ya mwisho.
Waziri, swali moja. Jina langu ni Michael Kono wa Deutsche Welle. Viongozi wa kaunti ya Marsabit wamekuwa wanapendekeza kuwepo kwa kuendeshwa kwa operesheni ya kijeshi namna ambavyo inashuhudiwa katika kaunti ambazo zimekuwa na uhalifu na majangili wa wezi. Je, hatua kunao mipango ya wizara ya usalama kuendesha hilo? Na la pili pia, kaunti ya Marsabit, serikali inapendekeza kwamba maafisa wa polisi ama makamanda ambao wamehudumu kwa muda mrefu wapewe uhamisho, kile wanasema kwamba wameshindwa kudhibiti hali ya usalama katika kaunti ya Marsabit. Je, ni swali ambalo wizara yako inatarajia kufanyia jambo?
Acha nijibu hii alafu utauliza yako. Now, as I have said, we had a choice of including Marsabit in the list of the 6 counties where we declared the security operation jointly by the National Police Service and the Kenya Defence Forces in February. But the reason why that inclusion was not done is because Marsabit has unique security challenges that are beyond just cattle rustling and livestock rustling. And I've already hinted or talked about some of them. The ethnic and inter-ethnic passions and crime that is fueled by ethnicity is quite a very unique and delicate matter for here. So we have been studying the situation. We cannot rule out a similar operation, but before we get that stage, we must first tackle some of the things which I've already said needs to be tackled to immobilize and make ineffectual some of the contributors and catalysts of the negative ethnic passions that have driven the politics and the social life here in Marsabit for a very long time. And for the avoidance of doubt, on our radar are current and former political leaders from this county, as well as other community leaders from this county. We'll do it without bias. We have all the communities here are Kenyans, and we will protect our communities here. And our business is to make sure that everybody's rights are protected. We will not be biased. The second question of transfers, it is the policy of the government that any officer who has served for more than 3 years, not just in Marsabit, but anywhere in the country, must be moved. We've started the process, and we'll clean up and change all our officers who have served in this county for more than 3 years at all ranks in all the security agencies that are present here.
Thank you, Professor. Na swali naomba ujibu kwa Kiswahili kwa sababu
hamna shida, nitajaribu.
Naitwa Machuki, nafanya na Radio Jangwani. Waziri, umetaja kuhusu investigations, uchunguzi ufanywe ili watu waweze kukamatwa ambao wanachochea mapigano Marsabit ama watu kuuawa. Si mara ya kwanza watu wameuawa Marsabit, vita vimefanyika na siku zote polisi wamefanya uchunguzi. Na kwa bahati mbaya wengi wamekufa akiwemo chifu wa Logologo. Na najua una habari hiyo. Naomba utupe update kama kwenye uchunguzi wote uliofanyika hata miaka ya nyuma, kuna mtu hata mmoja amewahi kamatwa, kuna mtu hata mmoja amewahi wasilishwa kotini, ama kuna kesi yote inaendelea hadi kufikia sasa hivi. Na pia la mwisho ni kuhusiana na disarmament exercise ambayo ilifanyika mwaka jana. Najua wakati huo mlikuwa mjaunda serikali, lakini serikali ilikuwepo na serikali ipo. Kwa hiyo exercise ya mop out ya kuondoa bunduki zote, how successful was it? Thank you.
Asante sana. Sasa umeniambia niongee Kiswahili lakini wewe umeongea Kiingereza. Now, kama nilivyosema, serikali ambayo inaongozwa na William Ruto imechukua msimamo wa kisera ya kwamba idara na vikosi vya usalama havitajihusisha katika masuala ya siasa, masuala ya dini ama masuala yoyote ambayo yanaleta mgawanyiko baina ya watu wa jamii ya Kenya. Kwa hivyo, naomba niongee kwa niaba ya serikali ambayo inaongozwa na William Ruto ya kwamba uchunguzi ambao tunaendelea nao, tuko na uhakika ya kwamba tutakamata washukiwa, tuko na uhakika tutawapeleka kotini, na tuko na uhakika ya kwamba watahukumiwa, kwa sababu kabla ya sisi kuleta mashtaka tutahakikisha ya kwamba ushahidi upo wa kutosha wa kumhukumu mwenye ameshtakiwa. Kwa hivyo hii ni sera ya serikali inayoongozwa na William Ruto. Sijui sera ya serikali zilizopita vile ilikuwa. The brief I have is to make sure we completely depoliticize the organs of our national security. And we have instructed all our security agencies, including national government administration officers, national police service officers, all officers of the National Intelligence Service, Kenya Prison Service, Kenya Defense Forces, any officer or commander within the security sector must keep away from politics, because you politicize security, you bring down the country. The president himself has said he has enough people, followers and activists to assist him to do his politics. He doesn't require a police officer, a chief, or other officers to assist him. And that's why I have also said, if evidence leads us to a religious or political leader who is supporting the current administration, we will jail him or her. That's why I said we are not here to do politics. We are here to protect the country and secure Marsabit, secure Kenya. Doesn't matter. If you're in the opposition and you're a culprit, we'll put you in. If you're in Kenya Kwanza, in President Ruto's party, and you're inciting people to kill their fellow countrymen, we will arrest you and put you in and make sure that you are convicted. On the second question of disarmament, that disarmament program was done, in my view, under the previous administration, and it was in good faith. It was in good faith because of the many illegal firearms in the hands of civilians in this county. However, even after that disarmament program, we believe that there are many more illegal firearms still in the hands of unlicensed holders in this county. And therefore, we'll be announcing measures to ensure that we get back every illegal gun that is in the hands of the wrong people. Every person who possesses a gun that is not licensed by the government of Kenya, we will take that gun. They either will have to surrender it peacefully or we will take it by force. But as I've said, we are moving step by step. We don't want to hurry up things. Those who are using guns to graze livestock, we want to, in the future, in the very near future, we want in our country, herdsmen to graze their livestock using sticks, not guns. So we'll reach there. And to answer your question, yes, there was that program. It was in good faith. It had some success, but still the problem persists. Nawashukuru sana, nawatakia kila heri, musherekee siku yenu ya uhuru wa wanahabari. Na wakati nilitoa taarifa yangu mapema nikitoka Nairobi, pia niliongea na wadosi wenu wale wanawaajiri. Nikasema ile kazi mnafanya kama journalist ni kazi ngumu, kazi kubwa, kazi ya kujitolea. Nikaambia wadosi wenu pia wawafikirie, waongeze marupurupu yenu na mishahara. Ndio msiseme waziri anatetea tu polisi, waongezewe mishahara, because I also recognize the work you do, and I hope your employers and media houses will actually look at what you do and make sure that the reward they give you is commensurate with the effort and sacrifice you put. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki. Thank you very much. So we leave it there.